episode 531 of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. I'll be talking about tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite and talk about some of the news going on in the world of pro wrestling. Hopefully my voice will last the whole podcast. All that and more right here, right now. 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Hello, wrestling fanatics. Welcome to episode 531 of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. Time to talk about tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. I am Lance Brock, and as always, thank you for tuning in on this Wednesday night. Hopefully, my voice will make it through the whole podcast. If you've been listening the last few days, the only podcast I've been doing is Good Morning Wrestling Fans in the morning because my voice hasn't been the best with, like I've said, my allergies have been terrible this year. Been coughing a whole lot, and even when I was just started to record Good Morning Wrestling Fans this morning, it kind of felt like I was gonna lose my voice. Unfortunately, or fortunately I should say, but some people might say unfortunately, but I did not. And I am here on 360 Wrestling Fanatic now to talk AEW Dynamite. And just a quick programming note, hopefully there will be a new episode of 360 Anything Goes tomorrow afternoon, 4 p.m. Eastern. Depends how my voice is. I've been lazy and haven't recorded it yet this week, but hopefully it will get out tomorrow without being late. And without any further ado, let's get into tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. And Dynamite was live from Portland, Oregon. Our commentators tonight: Excalibur, the legendary Tony Schiavone, and the Human Suplex Machine, Taz. And we start things off in the back with Tony Schiavone, actually, and the AEW World Champion and Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champion, MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And he gets a call, FaceTime from his tag team partner, as the team known as Better Than You, Baby, Adam Cole. He's on the screen, and he talks about MJF's world title defense coming up at Full Gear, and him also having to defend the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships against the Guns, and he tells them to consider Samoa Joe's offer to be his partner, and he does not want to. And then after that, we get Roderick Strong and the Kingdom once again. Adam, Roderick Strong talking to Adam Cole again, And our first match of the night on Dynamite is for the AEW World Championship. MJF defending against Daniel Garcia, which Daniel Garcia, an up-and-coming talent, and he was also involved in that backstage interview I forgot to mention. So was Daddy Magic Matt Menard and Cool Hand Angelo Parker. MJF asked him if he was going to get Daniel Garcia, the sports entertainer, or the wrestler. And Daniel Garcia tells him that he's going to get the wrestler. And these two, I thought, actually have a really good wrestling match to kick Dynamite off tonight for the AEW World Title. And it is a really good match, actually. Daniel Garcia does his dance at one point during this match, but it is MJF getting the win to retain the AEW World Championship. I'll give this match 3.5 out of 5 ring bells. And we have tag team action. Sting and Darby Allin defeating the Outrunners, Truth, Magnum, and Turbo Floyd. Swerve Strickland defeats Penta El Zero Miedo. And we also find out that Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega will take on the Young Bucks in tag team action at the Full Gear pay-per-view November 18th. And the Guns. But first, Samoa Joe defeats Limitless Keith Lee to retain the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champion, or the Ring of Honor World Television Championship, and then vacates it because he wants to focus on the AEW World Championship. And the Guns defeat the Bollywood Boys. Julia Hart defeats Red Velvet as she returns to AEW television. And in the main event, Switchblade Jay White defeats Mark Briscoe. So still going to be in the main event against MJF at Full Gear for the AEW World Championship, which was pretty much expected that he would. Didn't really see him changing the Full Gear main event now. But pretty good match though. I'll give it 3 out of 5 ring bells. And then after the match, we see in the back, well, first MJF comes out, and then MJF in the ring, and then we see on the screen in the back that the masked men that we have been seeing a few times lately, they attacked Billy Gunn and the Acclaimed, throw Anthony Bowens through a glass window, and then we see the guy in the devil mask look at the camera like he's been doing, and then we cut back to the arena, and MJF has seen what was going on. He runs to the back to check on the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. Of course, the guy in the devil mask is gone at this point. So, I know a lot of people are speculating that the guy in the mask could be Adam Cole, and it would make sense from a storyline that it would be, or possibly Roderick Strong. I've even heard some people online say it could possibly be Jack Perry, because there has been some news about his suspension being done but he has not yet returned to AEW television. So that could possibly be Jack Perry under that hood and mask. I wouldn't really doubt that. So that was tonight's AEW Dynamite. And before I wrap up this episode of the podcast, get into some pro wrestling news. And I talked about this on Good Morning Wrestling Fans, but it was announced in the TKO shareholders meeting that next year in 2024, WWE NXT is moving to the CW. And not sure just yet if it will stay on Tuesday nights when they go to the CW. This will be the first time that NXT will be airing on regular network television. Of course, WWE has aired on the CW before with Friday Night SmackDown and Saturday Morning Slam. So the CW and the WWE do have a relationship. And that looks like all about the news that I have right now. And I kind of kept this episode a little short because of my voice, like I said, trying to rest it so I don't lose it or anything. And like I said, hopefully tomorrow we'll have a new episode of 360 Anything Goes. Hopefully I won't miss an episode. I haven't missed one yet since I started it, so hopefully I won't. Fingers crossed. And we'll be back tomorrow morning for the Thursday episode of Good Morning Wrestling Fans. And thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Wherever you are, remember, if you have any questions or comments, you can leave your feedback and your thoughts and opinions on tonight's AEW Dynamite in the comment section right here on Spreaker, YouTube, or whichever podcast website or app you listen to on, if they have a comment section. And remember, all the social media, Instagram and Twitter, X, at 360 Wrestling Pod. I haven't really started updating Facebook yet, but if I do, I'll probably plug that more. But until I talk to you all tomorrow morning for GMWF, I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.